Hello there, my beautiful garden. Welcome to another episode here at Written in the Stars with your host, me, Black Rose. So, today I hope you're gonna just take a little moment out for yourself to sit back, relax as you listen to this episode because I have a lot of things to talk about of interest when it comes to the astrology, just some personal things that I have going on. And before we get started, don't forget to grab your chai latte, grab your favorite drink, water. I'm having actually some Puerto Rican coffee today, and it will put some hair on your chest, okay? So I am ready to go. I'm going to try not to talk too fast and too long, but I'm definitely feeling the caffeine vibes. So let's get into it. Have you guys noticed lately that your emotions are all over the place or that emotions just, they seem stronger than usual? I have been crying like crazy. It has been so annoying. And I've been feeling a lot of nostalgic type of energy. I've also been having some old wounds and baggage that's been coming back up from the past. And so it is driving your girl crazy. I already been crazy, but it's driving me down that lane again. So memories from the past are resurfacing with this energy. Conversations you thought were over might be coming back around. So you could be feeling more sensitive, nostalgic like myself, tired, or like you're being pulled inward. And that makes sense because there's a lot of energy happening right now. My goodness. So if you've been feeling this emotional wave, today we're talking about the astrology behind the energy many people are connecting with. So we know about the Mercury retrograde in Cancer. We also have the new moon in Cancer, which is tomorrow, July 14th, and the powerful planetary alignments that are shaping this moment right now are insane. Now remember, astrology is a symbolic language. It is a tool many people use for self-reflection and spiritual exploration. Whether you believe in it or simply enjoy the symbolism, these archetypes can inspire us to look deeper within ourselves. And I also want to say, we are the creators of our reality and of our destiny. So keep in mind, you can create no matter what the energy is. Will it give you obstacles? Will things come up? Of course, but take it as an opportunity to learn and grow from it. And right now, the message of the sky is slow down, feel what needs to be felt, heal what has been ignored, and create a new emotional foundation. Now, the reason that Cancer energy feels so intense is because it's one of the most emotionally connected signs of the zodiac. So it is connected with the moon, the mother, home, family, memories, the past, emotional safety, intuition. When planets move through Cancer, we often associate this energy with turning inward. So it's important to ask ourselves, where do I truly belong? Who makes me feel safe? What emotional wounds still need my attention? This is why many of us describe Cancer energy as basically feeling like opening an old photo album, or hearing a song from the past where the lyrics just really resonate with what you're feeling and thinking in that moment. From the past, you can just vividly see your person or a family memory, something coming up, or just remembering a chapter of life that you thought you moved beyond, thinking that I left this situation in the past, so why is it coming back up? That's totally normal, and I'm right here with you. I also feel too, there's a return of old conversations. I have touched on this before, because Mercury is in Cancer and it's retrograding, and it does represent communication, thoughts, memories, technology, information, all of that good stuff. So during Mercury retrograde, I tend to view this as a period, and a lot of astrologers do. It's a period of review, reflection, and revisiting unfinished matters. So when Mercury retrogrades through Cancer, the focus becomes emotional, and it has, I'm telling you. So we tend to find ourselves thinking about the past and revisiting conversations that maybe we didn't get closure on. And also, I feel another big theme that I've been seeing in my own life and with clients as well is that there's a lot of clearing of ancestral baggage and family, like childhood wounds. I'm seeing that coming up where people are looking deep within and they're understanding why they have certain patterns or why they're living life a certain way, not going after their dreams, because it does come from childhood, from those wounds that they have that they need to clear up, that they were trying to stuff down with food, alcohol, things that were lowering their vibration, things that were distracting them for a time, releasing that dopamine for a time, but it's just not sustainable anymore. I'm seeing the Six of Cups, and I'm being shown that from Spirit. The Six of Cups is so this energy, right? So Cups is water, it's Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. And usually the Six of Cups shows two little children playing together in a field of flowers, depending on what deck you have, but that seems to be the theme when you have the Six of Cups. And it's very much about that nostalgia, the childhood, my inner child wounds. It can also represent the past, like people coming back from the past. So Six of Cups is definitely an energy that I feel resonates with what we're going through as we continue to traipse through the Mercury in retrograde in Cancer and this new moon that we have tomorrow. So, are you suddenly remembering someone you haven't thought about in years? Or have you found yourself replaying a conversation? Maybe you're wondering, did I say the right thing? Could I have handled that differently? What could I have done in that moment? That's the kind of symbolism that I connect with Mercury retrograde, especially when it's in a water sign like Cancer. It's like the universe is holding up an emotional mirror, and those emotions aren't always fun to deal with. Now, when it comes to, the new moon in Cancer, we know new moons can represent, like, for me, I think it's like a symbolic reset point, and it's the beginning of a new lunar cycle. So it's often associated with setting intentions. So a new moon, if you're new to this, or if you are aware and you're very knowledgeable, whether you're in that stage or not, a new moon, I'll just tell you, it is about new beginnings and setting those intentions. And it's a good time to bring in new, fresh energy, in my opinion. And with this new moon in Cancer, it's like we take a moment to ask, what kind of emotional life do I want to create? What does that look like for me? What new emotions do I want to create moving forward? What new memories do I want to create moving forward that are vastly different from the experiences that I had in the past? So this is not just about manifesting money or success. This Cancer energy, no, it's more about asking deeper questions. Like, do I feel loved? Am I in the right relationship? Am I happy in this relationship? Do I feel supported? Am I wanting to talk to that ex? Do I have unfinished business with an ex that I need to address? Do I feel safe being myself? So this energy, I would say it would be a good time to use this energy to release emotional baggage. You can set intentions for healing and what that looks like for you and what the process is going to be. Work on your home environment. Is your home too messy? Do you have things from the past that need to be cleared out or donated to Goodwill that somebody else can use? Can you throw some trash away? Are you hoarding? Those things need to be addressed. So create your peaceful home environment. Strengthen your boundaries and reconnect with your intuition. This is such a good time to reconnect with your intuition. So I've been getting a lot of downloads. Like the other day, I was walking with my daughter and we live in the woods, and we were walking in the woods and she had asked me a question, and I just started downloading all of this information. It was just coming to me, and I was telling her about how we need to let go of old things in order to make way for new things. And I'm going to share this story because I feel it definitely goes along with this new moon, especially with it being in Cancer. So I was giving her this analogy? This analogy where, say that you have worn out old shoes, but the store is like really far away and maybe finances are rough for you. So you keep putting off buying those new pair of shoes because you feel like you don't have the resources or the ability to get those new shoes. And there's a part of you too that feels like, I might as well just, the rest of my life is kind of falling apart. So I might as well just keep these broken down shoes. And you keep walking around in these broken down shoes, and your feet are hurting and you're getting rocks in there and your toes sticking out. But you continue to wear them even though they hurt, even though they're uncomfortable. They may not even fit anymore, but yet you continue to walk around in them, complaining, hem and hawing, not satisfied, wishing, praying and hoping that you had that new pair of shoes. And I asked her, I said, if you have those old pair of shoes there, can you make way for a new pair of shoes? And she was like, no, I would just keep wearing the same shoes. And I said, exactly. So if we keep wearing the same shoes, what's going to happen is the universe is going to come in and clean your closet. And she said, how does the universe clean your closet? And I said, what I mean is there's going to be a situation that comes in. And I said, by the way, this isn't about shoes. But there's going to be a situation that comes in that the universe completely rearranges everything, takes someone or something away to create that space, because the universe knows that you want a new pair of shoes. The universe knows that you desire and you crave and you need and want a new pair of shoes. You need and want it. But you're holding on to the old. You're holding on to the broken down, holy, not working out anymore shoes. And so the universe comes in and says, well, you asked for this, so we're going to take this away. And now you don't have any shoes. And now you're stripped. And now you're barefoot. And yeah, you might have to walk to that store with no shoes on, or you might have to go a few days and be uncomfortable and walk in puddles and dirt with no shoes on. But it's going to be worth it, because you're going to find that now that you have the space, you're going to be blessed with a new pair of shoes, and it's going to be the most comfortable, therapeutic pair of shoes that you've ever owned in your life, because there's something better once you let go of the old. And it goes deeper than that, but I was explaining this to her, trying to teach her a life lesson, and I just started downloading this information. And I told her, I don't know where that came from. I do know where it came from. It came from up there. But I was like, wow, I even blew myself away. It was more intricate than that, but I'm just trying to repeat what I remembered. But that's what this energy is about. You're going to be downloading information that just clicks. You're going to be getting messages that just click, and it's all going to make sense. Not maybe overnight, but eventually it will make sense. Now, we also have that Jupiter in Leo. So this is the return of confidence and self-expression. So we're watching that here with the Jupiter moving through Leo, because it's really exciting. And Jupiter is associated with expansion, growth, optimism, and opportunity. So we know Leo does represent creativity, confidence, passion, visibility, leadership. So Cancer says, go inward, heal your heart. Leo says, now that you know who you are, shine. Show off that new pair of shoes. This combination can feel like I'm healing my past, but I'm also ready to become someone new. The old shoes to the new shoes. Oh, I'm hearing that song. It's an older song. and it's I think it's called New Shoes. It's by Paolo. I think it's Paolo Nutini. I want to say that's the name of the person, but that song is so good and it reminds me of this energy. I have a theme about shoes that my guides are telling me. But some of the lyrics is, "Hey, I put some new shoes on and suddenly everything's right." I said, "Hey, I put some new shoes on and everybody's smiling. It's so inviting. Oh, short on money, but long on time, slowly strolling in the sweet sunshine. And I'm running late and I don't need an excuse because I'm wearing my brand new shoes." Mm-hmm. There's another part of the song too. I think it's like, okay, "I'm looking tired and feeling quite sick. I felt like there was something missing in my every or day to day life. So I quickly opened the wardrobe, pulled out some jeans and a t shirt that seemed clean, topped it off with a pair of old shoes that were ripped around the seams. And I thought, these shoes just don't suit me." Wow. Yeah, that makes sense why I'm downloading that. Oh my gosh, I'm about to cry. I told you this this Cancer energy has me fucked up. Pardon my French. Let me take a sip. I told you. Hold on. Ooh, that coffee makes me feel great. I'm crying over some shoes. It's not really shoes though. But you see, it's very emotional. Look, I'm getting emotional as I'm doing the podcast. So, this energy, it's really about rebuilding confidence, y'all, especially after an emotional transformation. And then we've got that Saturn energy too. You know, it has to do with maturity and lessons. Saturn is my ruling planet as a Capricorn. And so Saturn is often called the teacher of the zodiac. So, responsibility, discipline, boundaries, growth through challenges. When Saturn energy is active, we associate it with looking at areas of life where we need more structure, building something that lasts. So sometimes emotional growth means letting go of what feels familiar but no longer supports us. And then we also have that Pluto energy, transformation within. Now, as a Scorpio rising, my chart ruler is Pluto, as well as Mars, both of them. And we know Pluto is associated with transformation. It's deep psychological change and rebirth. So we are asking ourselves, what version of myself am I ready to leave behind? And it feels intense because transformation is about releasing old identities. You can't step into a new pair of shoes or a new chapter holding on to the old shoes or the old story, right? So that's why we're being called. It's not that the universe is a hater or a bully. As I've talked about before, it's calling us to be honest and to look at those sore spots, to look at where we still have poison in our veins and suck out the poison. And sometimes emotions rise because something inside us, and it's hard, is asking us to acknowledge it. The feelings we avoid often contain the messages we need. So it's not always easy, but this Cancer energy reminds us that our emotions are not our enemy. They're information, and they're trying to show us where we have healed and where we still need to heal and where we still need compassion and what our heart values. So journaling and resting, reflecting, spending time with people that feel like home may be very beneficial for you. Starting that therapy, going to a counselor. And Cancer, it teaches us that our sensitivity is not a weakness. It's been many years where I cry and I apologize, and I've just gotten to a space where I try really hard not to apologize for crying, because there's nothing wrong with crying. Crying is a natural response to emotions, pain, grief. It's natural. And it helps release toxins from the body. Our emotions are not something to run from. They are messages from our soul. So if you find yourself missing someone and you still love them and you care for them and you may not be in communication with them, there's nothing wrong with that. That's your experience. That's a real emotion for you. And it makes you cry and it makes you feel nostalgic. That doesn't matter. It's not that, oh, I'm not healing. Look, this is still bothering me. No, that doesn't matter. It's for you to address and for you to feel. Right now, we need to feel. So not run from our emotions. It's also a good time to forgive, to nurture yourself. Be soft. Be soft with yourself. Yourself needs some softness. Even if no one's given it to you, you need to be soft for yourself. And this is a big lesson I've been learning too. You know, when you heal your childhood wounds or you realize that your parents didn't support you. You realize that there's things that happened to you as a child that the adults let happen. And nobody did anything about it. You realize that an ex was abusive and you allowed that to happen. Why did you allow that to happen as an adult when you were able to make different choices? Because that's what you were shown when you were a child. To accept abuse, to accept behaviors. And these wounds come back up to remind you that you are not a child anymore. And you can make a different choice. And you can go down a different path. Not the path that they laid out for you, a new path that you have your new shoes on. And suddenly everything's right. Right? It better be. So that's why we go through the things that we do. It's not to hurt you, and it's not the universe being a bully. I must say that once again, because you know why? Because I always thought that. I always thought, you know what? The universe hates me. God hates me. Why was I born? I suck. There is a song. I'm laughing because my little self, my little brain, I feel for her. I grew up an only child. I don't have any siblings. And I grew up an only child, so I had to develop a vivid imagination, and sometimes the only person I had was me. That's it. I had me to rely on for fun. I had me to rely on when I was crying. And that's not true because I always had God with me and my guides and my angels. But when you're a child, you don't have, I had an awareness of God, but you're not quite developed enough yet to realize that you're not truly alone. You can feel a presence, but you're still learning. Your brain's still developing. But I had this song that I don't know where I learned it, but it was something like, everybody hates me, nobody loves me, I guess I'll go eat worms. Yeah, it was something like that. It's like, I can't remember the lyrics, but it's like, nobody likes me, everybody hates me. I think I'll go eat worms. Yeah. No, let me look it up. Hold on, I have to look this up real quick. Okay. All right. So yeah, nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. I think I'll go eat worms. This is so sad. Great big juicy ones, eeny weeny teeny ones. See how they wiggle and squirm. Down goes the first one, down goes the second one. Oh, how they wiggle and squirm. So yeah, I'm laughing because the lyrics are crazy. That's what we had when I was growing up. So yeah, when I was sad, I would actually go, and I still do this as an adult. Am I sharing too much? No, it's okay. I like to be authentic. I like to be open with you guys because I never know who's going through this and needs to hear it. And if I don't share my story, how can I heal anybody? So I'm going to share. To this day, if I get really, really upset or sad, I like to sit in a dark closet. I've always been that way. I like to sit in a dark closet. It was always my safe space. I think I was a cat in one of my past lives because you know how cats like to get in small spaces? I love small spaces. I love warm, dark, small spaces. I can be in there for hours and just sit in silence. Yeah, I like it. So, pretty sure I used to be a cat, but I still do that to this day. It's a comfort thing. So when I was a little girl, I would sit in a dark closet and I would cry and I would sing that song. And a lot of it was because, my mother didn't spend time with me. And that was very hurtful and painful. Or I was very neglected as a child. Very, very neglected. Maybe one day I'll write a book about it, but I was super neglected as a child. I don't care if my mom hears this. She's following me. She found me again and she tried to ruin my first channel. So if she's listening, hate it for her. But I was really neglected and don't remember a lot of times of her playing with me. And I have a lot of wounds from that. And my dad was not in my life. So those things that you're feeling that are coming up, I share this because it's coming up because you did something. Some of you, not everybody, but some of you may have done something where you were pushing that down or you were not facing that pain. And so it's coming back up. It can only bubble up to the surface. That's why it's coming back up. And that's what happens with me. So don't be surprised if that's what comes up for you. So let's get into the 12 zodiacs and how this new moon may affect each zodiac sign. Rising, I find, and I'll say this all the time just to reiterate, rising, I find, is the best source to see where the energy is hitting you. That's my opinion. Okay, so Aries, creating emotional security. This new moon highlights your home, family, and private life. You may feel called to slow down and focus on your emotional foundation. This could be a time to heal family dynamics, move, redecorate, or even create a space where you finally feel at peace. Your lesson for this energy is that you do not always have to fight for everything. Sometimes your greatest power comes from creating safety. Taurus, I feel like a new voice is going to awaken for you. So this new moon activates communication, learning, and your mindset. So say you might receive like an important conversation, idea, or inspiration. This is a time to speak your truth and stop shrinking your voice. Your lesson with this energy, your thoughts create your reality. Choose words that build your future, not tear it down. Gemini, healing your relationship with worth. This new moon brings attention to money, values, and self-esteem. You may be redefining what success means to you. Instead of proving yourself, you may begin recognizing your own value. Your own value. This retrograde in Mercury is, oh my goodness, it's being a hater with me. But your lesson is you are valuable before you accomplish anything. Cancer, this is a personal rebirth. This is your new moon. This is one of your most powerful reset points of the year. You may feel called to reinvent yourself, change your appearance, start a new chapter, or finally prioritize your emotional needs. So your lesson is become the person your future self has been waiting for. Leo, this is about hidden pain or trauma for you. So anything that's hidden, I feel the healing is going to begin for you. This new moon shines light on your subconscious, dreams, and spiritual healing. You may be releasing old fears, secrets, or emotional burdens. Your lesson is that rest is not weakness. Healing is part of your destiny. Virgo, new dreams and connections. This new moon highlights friendships, communities, and future goals. You may meet people who align with your vision or realize certain connections no longer fit. Your lesson is your future requires a new environment. Libra, this is an energy for you having to do with career and public image transformation. So this new moon brings attention to your goals and reputation. A new career path, leadership opportunity, or public transformation may begin. Do not be afraid to be seen. That's your lesson. Scorpio, and I'm a Scorpio rising. So let's see. Expanding your spiritual vision. That sounds about right. This new moon encourages growth through travel, education, spirituality, and higher understanding. You may experience a powerful shift in your beliefs. The lesson for us Scorpio risings is your soul is ready for a bigger world. I know mine is. Sagittarius, deep emotional transformation is coming from this new moon. It's going to activate shared resources, intimacy, and transformation. This is a time to heal trust issues and release emotional attachments. Remember, true power comes from vulnerability, and this is your lesson. Capricorn, this new moon focuses on partnerships. And remember, Cancer is your opposite sign or your sister sign. It's the sign that mirrors you. You may experience new beginnings in love, friendships, or important connections. So your lesson, healthy relationships begin with emotional honesty. Aquarius, I feel that this new moon is going to highlight your health, routines, and work. You may feel inspired to create better habits and take care of yourself. So remember, your lesson is your daily choices create your destiny. And last but not least, Pisces. This new moon activates creativity, romance, passion, and self-expression. Could also highlight children for you. You're being reminded that life is meant to be enjoyed. Pleasing your inner child, having some fun. Your lesson is your gifts are meant to be shared with the world. As we move through all of this energy, especially the new moon in Cancer, remember, the universe does not ask us to become someone else. It asks us to return to who we truly are. Cancer teaches us that our sensitivity is not a weakness. Our emotions are not something to run from. They are messages from our soul. Okay, so remember that and forgive, heal, nurture, begin again with this new moon energy. Thank you for joining me on Written in the Stars. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who needs this reminder. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I love Instagram. I'm doing so great over there, and I'm just so appreciative to everyone. I thank each and every one of you that subscribe, that follow, because I truly could not do this without you. I mean, I could, but it would be a little bit boring not sharing a message with people who are listening. So thank you to each and every one of you. You are what makes the garden grow. You are what makes the garden bloom. And I just love being here with you all. Let's bloom together and let's continue to water and nurture each other. So stay connected to the stars, trust your intuition, and remember, your story was written in the stars.